Are you still buying gas, groceries, and fast food without getting cash back? Why are you doing that? You could be getting cash back on all of these things. And not like, here's some credits to use at this store again and some points. This is cash. This is money on your phone that you can then deposit straight into your PayPal and then put that into your bank account. Over the last 2 years, I have earned $299.39 on Upside. Now, they have cashback offers at all kinds of places. Circle K, Lion's Choice, local random restaurants, Papa Murphy's, Phillips 66, Huck's, all kinds of places now. You can get cash back just for shopping there. All you have to do is give them the last 4 digits of your card, and then they just make sure that you use those same cards at these places and give you cash back on the app. When you go to get the app, use the invite code Janice 3538. That's JANICE 3538 to get an automatic 15 cents back per gallon on your first transaction using the app. This year, I'm using the money that we save up for Christmas. It's May, and I've only used it a couple of times on things other than gas, and I already have almost $60 saved up for Christmas for the kids this year. I'm hoping to have about $200 saved up, which doesn't sound far-fetched, especially because now they're offering it at over 50 different local restaurants and 50 different nationwide companies. So like I said, get the app, Upside. That's UPSIDE, and use the invite code Janice 3538 to get 15 cents per gallon back on your first transaction. Upside doesn't share any of your personal information with your referral network, so you don't have to worry about like your friends who you refer to the app knowing everything you do and everywhere you shop. Same with people who you are referred from, so don't worry. No one's going to know all the things that you buy.
You dumb fucking bitch!
Bitch.
Bitch.
You bitch! The nigger bitch!
Heinous bitch is the
Fucking bitch.
Bitch?
You're a bitch!
The bitch is back.
Do you know what this is? This is a bonus episode. That's what this is. And this is going to be nothing structured. It's mostly just going to be me bitching about what happened in Florida recently. Just the fact that Florida decided that they were going to ban all the books. So like kids weren't allowed to have books anymore. And if you didn't somehow know about this, all of the books were taken out of all of the schools. Like classrooms, fucking libraries, every book was taken out of every fucking school in Florida. And the reasoning for them just mass exodus of reading material in all of the fucking schools in Florida was they said that they want to go through them all, catalog them all, decide which ones are okay, and then they will have a couple of different fucking sets of boards that they will then decide whether they can keep them. It's just so fucking stupid. They made like 15 hoops for these people to jump through to be able to get books back in the schools. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, not only are we not allowed to talk about being queer in Florida now, they want to take all the books away so that they're all uneducated. Which if you've spent any time in fucking Florida, then you know that there's already a problem. Yeah. Anyway, so then now DeSantis took over this university called New College and fired basically half of the board, hired new board members, fired the dean of the school and put in a new dean of the school, or the president. I can't remember if it was the president or the dean. Told you, there's nothing behind this. I'm literally just spouting at the fuck top of my head. And then replaced them with some staunch fucking conservative Christian people. One guy who was the head of another conservative Christian school, which is like the model for how DeSantis wants to make all of his schools. And then this one motherfucker comes in and is like, inclusion and diversity are actually what bring us apart. Like, they make people, like, fall away from each other. They do not bring people together. Excuse me, bitch! Excuse me, bitch! I am sorry. Are you mad because all the black and brown people and all the gay people are allowed to do things now? Once again, I guess I'm gonna have to reiterate the fact to, like, stupid white men that just because someone gets something doesn't mean you don't get it too. Right? Right, like, there is enough for everyone to go around. You don't have to be little fucking dragons hoarding everything. Like, this is my gold. I'm gonna keep it. This is all mine. Like, what the fuck? And then they really expect some bitch to want to suck their dick. Like, really? They go out here, disrespect us, BIPOC people, immigrants, people of any kind of difference at all, women, all women, cis, trans, across the board. They fucking hate all of us. And then they expect some bitch to want to suck your dick. What? I'm genuinely, like, confused at it. Like, the logic isn't logicking anymore. Like, it's really not. And my favorite is they keep wanting to push this fucking God rhetoric. And, like, I don't care how exhausted people are of hearing me personally bitch about this. I will never stop talking about this. There's a reason that I am the person that I am. Like, you're not going to tell me and all these other people who don't believe in your Christian God that this is a Christian nation. Go fuck yourself. We don't live in a Christian nationalist state. That is not what's happening here. This is not the Republic of Gilead. I'm sorry. There will be no red fucking dresses here. That is not fucking happening. And, like, yeah, I saw the show too, guys. Like, I know that they tried to fight back and it didn't work, but, like, that's not how it would actually be. Do they not understand? Like, I just don't get it. And the worst is, like, now, the pipeline from, like, crunchy mom to alt-right Christian nationalist is so straight. Like, there's not even that many turns that it takes now. It's like, oh, I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to be all organic. And then you get in these mommy blog pages and they start out that way. And then they progressively just get worse. Like, I'm going to start using essential oils, which are MLMs, by the way. Like, every single essential oil company is a fucking MLM. That's besides the point. But they're like, I'm going to get into essential oils. And then all of a sudden they're talking about how QAnon's right and that all the government people are eating babies. Like, it gets so stupid. And it's so convoluted that things that we used to joke about, because the alt-right took them over, now, like, every joking phrase is linked to anti-Semitism. And I'm like, what? No, I love Jewish people. I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I love Jewish people. Get the fuck away from me with that. Because I had people coming to me being like, that's anti-Semitic. And I'm like, actually, I had no idea about that. So thank you for telling me, for one, because now I can never say that again in my life. And what's funny is they're not even, like, offensive things. They're not even, like, actual slurs, offensive words, or things that you would, like, connect with somebody being a fucking neo-Nazi. But now, because of the crazy alt-right people taking everything you could think of, they have turned it into a conspiracy, and now it's bad because they turned it into a conspiracy. Because they are so anti-Semitic. Like, they really hate Jewish people, but they found other ways to say it. And they're also, like, racist and homophobic and transphobic and, like, all of the gross. They're, like, all of the gross. And they're, like, grossing up everything. They're adding their ick to all of it. And it's like, excuse me, can we not have nice things? No, we can't have fucking nice things. And it's such a small subset, but it's like cancer. It, like, eats away and infects everything around it. So it's like, people are like, oh, well, there can't be that many people who believe that shit. Well, it's not at first. It's not until they create a fucking Facebook group and then 10,000 people join them. Because I'm not going to lie, during the height of the panini, I was one of those people who was like, oh my God, are they really stealing babies? Like I could see it. Like, I know here in Missouri, there are thousands of foster care kids who go missing every week, I think it is. I haven't looked at it recently. I know the numbers shot up exponentially. But like, I know that like kids are going missing from foster care, from adoption, they're not agencies. We should just call them what they are, for-profit adoption companies that traffic children. We should just call it that. But like, I was one of those people on Facebook. Like, I wasn't in crazy Facebook groups and I wasn't like following QAnon or anything. But like, during the Wayfair thing, it was like, okay, well, that seems kind of crazy. But then like you would hear all these, more crazy things. But then I remember it being like, okay, well, never mind. I don't believe that. Like, yeah, politicians are horrible fucking people, but I don't believe in the adrenochrome thing. Once the whole adrenochrome thing came up, I entertained it for like 30 seconds and I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. But these people have been running with this now for years. Like, for years. And now there are a couple of different documentaries and docuseries out talking about QAnon and who people think it is and if they found out who it really was. And there's like 4 or 5 people claiming to be Q, and they say now it's a collective of people, and it's whoever it is. It really doesn't matter. It's not like WikiLeaks where they're coming out with like legitimate information about people. This is just some person, and it started out like, people don't realize it didn't start out with like, this is a message. Here is this. It was like these secret meanings and all of these like codes you had to break. And like, I don't know any of it because I only know what I know from seeing it in documentaries. It's not like I got that far into it. Like I said, I stopped caring about it back in 2020. So, all these crazy people were like, oh, well, that would never happen to me. It's the same with the thing with cults or with extremely controlling groups or with mind manipulation or brainwashing or any of that stuff. Indoctrination, all of it. It doesn't happen right away. It's you slowly get there. You slowly get there. And that's why I've just straight up started cutting off people in my life who are exhibiting any kind of negative thoughts about the BIPOC community or about the LGBTQ community. Because I've always been an LGBTQ warrior. Like, it's so weird to think, even before my mom came out, because my mom came out when I was in 5th grade. I was 10 or 11. And when she came out, I was so excited. I loved it. I was so excited. I don't know why. I've always been the kind of person who likes weird situations and like different stuff and like things out of the ordinary. So I was so excited. That excitement was then dulled when I told who I thought was my best friend, and she went around and told everybody, which I would have been fine with, except for that they all made fun of me and acted like it was something to be upset about when I was like, this is fucking cool. And I had never had my dad in my life. I didn't fucking care about him. He was a douchebag and he treated me like garbage my whole life. So I was about it. I was so excited to not have to entertain the thought of another guy coming into our family. Like, another female was fine because it was just me, my sister, and my mom. So we were the trio. We were cool. I was cool, not we. I was cool. But, I didn't understand why everyone thought it was a bad thing. And then people made fun of me for it and would talk shit about it. And I was like, I really don't understand why you guys think it's a bad thing. And then, that went on for a little bit. My grandparents didn't talk to my mom for like a year after she came out, whatever. But then when I was like 13, my mom told me the story of Matthew Shepard. And that was it. That was the end of my normal life. That was the end of me, mostly caring about myself and being from that day on. I was like, nope, I will do literally anything I can to protect queer people because, I didn't have words for it. So that's the best way for me to like sum up my 13-year-old feelings was I was like, I will fight to the death for any person that falls underneath the umbrella because to me, it was so disgusting. And that was also when I stopped believing in God because anytime I heard anybody say anything negative about a queer or gay person or a trans person or anyone different, It was always, well, it's not in the Bible. The Bible says it's bad. Well, God doesn't like that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it was like, wait a second. You're telling me that my mom, who I love, who raised me, and my sister, who is a paramedic and takes care of people, her whole job is to bring people back from the dead, basically. That's the best way that I, as a child, could have explained my mom's job. You want to tell me that this person who would do anything for anyone and would literally lay down her life for any person who needed it is a bad person because of who she chooses to love? And she didn't even choose it. She did not choose to be attracted to women. Because believe me, with the way that my mom's family is, it would have been 100 million bazillion times easier for my mom if it was a choice. And my mom got to say, nope, you know what? I'm just going to choose not to like women. Her life would have been exponentially easier. But it's not a choice. That's how you're born. It's just the way you are. And I just did not understand. If they believed in their God and their God made everyone and said everyone was perfect the way that they were born, then why the fuck would he make them gay and then hate them for it? So that to me was like, that's completely illogical. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That's stupid. So that was when I really stopped believing in God. Not to mention that I had been praying my whole fucking life. Praying nonstop every single night until I was just sick, until I was, just beyond upset. Praying to God that my dad would get better and come to us and be with us and be in my sister's life. I know he couldn't be with my mom, but I just wanted him in our lives so that we could have our dad. And that never happened. And what actually happened was he got worse. And every time he would get out, he would do something worse. And he would do something that would make us more ashamed of him and not make us want to be around him. And so then that, coupled with like the pure hatred that I saw from Christians and Catholics against the gay community, that was it. I was like, I will, as much as you people want to dedicate your fucking lives to some imaginary sky daddy bullshit, I will dedicate my life to the defense and preservation of the LGBTQ community. Well, I also was fucking bisexual, pansexual. I say bisexual. I mean pansexual. Because people do not understand what pansexual means. I use bisexual for the normals, so that they can understand what the fuck I'm saying. Because they get liking boys and girls. They do not understand liking everyone no matter what. So it's just easier, to call myself bisexual. Because, well, the normies get that. The muggles understand. Even though we do not recognize she who must not be named here. Obviously, if you can't gather that from my views on things. We have determined over the last week that she was paid out big for the game. So it's kind of like whenever the grocery stores give a donation to a company and they're like, would you like to donate to the blah, blah, blah hospital? You don't need to donate to them. They already donated. They just want to be reimbursed for donating. So that's kind of what you can think of it as, is that the game company already paid her for the game. So she already got paid, but she will also get residuals and royalties. So you just got to think about that. If you consider yourself a trans ally or an ally to the BIPOC communities, then you might want to just not get Legacy. I'm not getting it, and it pains me because I really want to fucking play it. This is what all of us had been looking forward to since we were literally children. Like, we wanted a game like this. We've been waiting for this, but I am not willing to sacrifice the morals that I have as an atheistic, romantic Satanist. You like that? I'm not willing to compromise those morals to play a fucking video game. The same as I won't compromise them to eat Jesus chicken, which is gross anyway. They put fucking pickle juice in everything. Ugh. And I won't go to the Christ craft store, as well as I will not patronize the big W when it comes to pharmacies. There's one on every fucking corner. Yeah, we won't go to those places because I don't support companies that support anti-LGBT rhetoric in an open fashion. I wanted to do a whole episode on how companies commit blasphemy every single day while also using Jesus as a marketing technique. So if you guys want to hear about that, please tell me, because I have a deep passion for how companies will use the Jesus fish or put a Christian company just to get you to buy their shit while at the same time committing some of the most heinous shit ever. Yeah, like I really want to talk about that. But anyway, this is all to say, don't go buy Legacy if you support the trans community. It's the same as like, don't get new tattoos for it. Don't get new HP tattoos. You know, if you already have them like me and a lot of my friends, we already have these tattoos. We've had these tattoos for 12 fucking years. Like, I cannot afford to get a tattoo removed. And if I was going to get a tattoo removed, that would not be the first one. I would just get it covered. And I also can't afford to get a tattoo covered right now. Covers are kind of expensive because you have to cover up an old tattoo. Like, what the fuck? And it's so funny because it's like I said recently in a TikTok, not separating, you know, the two. A lot of the times if the person's a piece of shit, then the work of art reflects that. But also when you're younger and you're a child and you're consuming media, you don't know about these things. We didn't know when we were children that she was a piece of shit and that she was a bigot. Like, we didn't know that. How were we supposed to know that? You know? We don't. And when you find those things out later, then of course you're going to act differently and consume media differently. You can't go back and unconsume things. You can't like regurgitate that back out of your brain. So it's like, I don't understand what these little babies think that they're doing when they attack people for things that they did already that they can't undo. Like, I'm not going to apologize for getting this tattoo. You know, we didn't know. Now, if someone gets a tattoo or does something to support it, then you know where their morals are and you know what they think about the community. But if it's something somebody did a long time ago and they didn't have that information, you really can't go and get pissed at them for something they did without, you know, information. It's the same as all these really good people who supported Ellen, you know? And we start hearing these alleged things that she did. Of course, I'm like, oh, take a step back. I'm not going to continue to support somebody whenever there's all these alleged horrible things that they did. You know, you just have to take steps forward instead of attacking people for things they did without knowledge. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here, I guess, is like, you can't get mad at people for something they did without very vital information. It's like the girl who got the tattoo of the numbers on her arm. She was born, you know, in a very recent time. You know about the Holocaust. You should have thought about that. Like, that is something everyone knows. That is general knowledge. When, you know, say somebody, like I said in that video, say somebody gets a tattoo for Harry Styles and he has not done anything. This is a what if situation. Everybody calm down. But like, say you get a tattoo for Harry Styles, one of his song lyrics or something, and then in 12, 15 years, we find out he did something bad. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm just saying what if. Everybody calm down. Don't get upset. Don't be sending me a bunch of emails talking about he's the greatest. Okay, this is an example. You would be like, oh my God, I feel horrible now having this tattoo. You know, I would hope people wouldn't attack you the way that people are constantly attacking all of us, acting as if we did this thing with the knowledge that she hates people that we love. Like, fuck no. No, we just wouldn't. And that's not like that's not saying anything bad about people who, you know, get tattoos without information, but that's why we investigate before we put ink on our bodies. There wasn't anything to investigate 12 years ago. You know, we weren't sending out ignorant tweets like that to each other 12 years ago. It was a baby still. But I don't know. This is just me ranting about how Florida sucks. She who must not be named sucks. A couple of different big companies suck. How trans people are awesome. And I love queers. I'm just really fucking upset about Florida. Like, I am so tired of them saying things like, we're going to bring this country back to God. God never fucking went anywhere, okay? Your God is all the fuck over everything. We couldn't escape your God if we tried. We've been trying, okay? We're trying to get the fuck away from y'all's Christian God. And you keep shoving it back up our asses, okay? So, like I said, this is my bonus episode of me ranting on and on about some shit.
These are all my opinions. These are all things that I think you can. I mean, you can go ahead and Google most of it and you'll find out that I'm not full of shit. But all of the things that I am saying do not reflect any of the websites or hosting platforms where you can find this podcast.
Let's just save my ass all over here. But I needed to get that out, and I know my poor fucking husband is tired of hearing me all upset about this stuff. I know he is just as caring and compassionate as I am about it, but he's tired. He's tired when he gets home. You don't want to hear me go on and on and on and on about how much Florida sucks. So, I love you guys. I hope that your week is going good. I hope that this doesn't just ruin your day, but if you're just as mad about all this shit as I am, then stay mad. I love and respect all of you and the healthy and not self-destructive choices you make in life. Hopefully this week isn't sucking too much. Smoke a bowl. Tell your cat I said I love it. Punch an old white man in the face for me, okay?
You dumb fucking bitch.
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 You bitch! The mega bitch!
Heinous bitch is the
Fucking bitch.
Bitch.
You're a bitch!
The bitch is back.
If you've ever thought about making your own podcast, I highly recommend using Buzzsprout. You can find a link in the show notes. And once you're there, they kind of explain everything for you. And it's really pretty cheap, honestly. They give you all kinds of tips and tools on how to increase listeners, how to promote your show, and on monetization. If you have any other questions, they are super responsive. They get back to you within a day, if not like an hour. I use Buzzsprout, and it gives me the ability to host my podcast on basically every single podcast hosting site and app. It's great. I love them. So I'm going to continue to use them. And if you are interested, you should definitely look into them. Like I said, there's a link in the show notes.